Good morning everyone. Welcome. Today is day 98 of this program, so we're quickly getting to 100, and it's 5 a.m. So I welcome all of you here. It's so when I start this session, I see all the names on this panel, and a few people would be new, sort of every day, but most people have been around for now almost 50, 60, 70, 80 days. It's good to see you all here, and uh, good to also see that despite that, you're all sticking to the routine, and despite it's being challenging, it also shows that if we actually make up our mind, it's possible to change our habits and change the way we live our life. When we conduct our programs, habit building programs, you know, many of our participants are here. So I can see, I think Rajat is here. Lots of people I see, who have been with us. And one thing is that it is not like anybody. It's not like everybody was disciplined, or everybody was following this routine for last 20 years or since they were a kid. Right? Most of us, myself included, when we were in school, college, we would get up late, wake up late, whatever. So there was no real rhyme. There's no real rhythm to the way we did things. But the interesting thing is that when we make up our mind, and when we adopt the right process, right, we can actually change our lives. Because the common, there's a sort of idea that we have that some people are hardworking, some people are lazy, some are disciplined, some are indisciplined. Essentially, this belief is there that our um, our destiny is in our DNA. Right? It is amazing how much it is not true. There are certain things which come from our DNA that we cannot deny. So, um, let's say if the people talk about, let's say, IQ or intellect, right? In fact, yesterday, was it yesterday or day before? I'm forgetting where it was, in what context. Somebody asked me this question. I don't remember where, maybe on WhatsApp, which is, does IQ matter? Uh, is IQ just, does it depend upon you? Is it natural intelligence, or can you develop it? So here's the answer, right? So the IQ or intellect or intelligence or smartness, whatever you want to call it, um, there are certain things which are determined by our mental and physical constitution. You cannot change them. So I believe that there is a certain aspect, I would say significant aspect of IQ, which comes from just who we are, how we are. It's sort of God's gift, you can call it, or it's just nature. However, the interesting thing is, even with the given IQ, the range in which you can, I mean, how low and how high you can go in terms of achieving in any field, that range is extremely, extremely wide. Right? And there'll be few things which are uh, sort of which are very hard to achieve just by effort. So, as an example, let's say if you play cricket, um, to become a cricketer like, say, Virat Kohli or Sachin Tendulkar, just sheer effort, everybody cannot get there. That we have to acknowledge, because the amount of their the way the brain works, the hand-eye coordination, there are a lot of things which is just, they're wired in such a manner that they will have that fraction of a second advantage in terms of responding to things, and you and I, if we don't have that, we cannot do that. But those are very, very, very few, very exceptional things. For a vast majority of other things, um, if you're not trying to become an Olympic gold medalist, if the ambition is not at that level, bit any other thing that you take, right? The range of performance that you can deliver is mind-boggling, right? In terms of how low you can go and how high you can go. And I'll just take one quick example, then we'll move to a morning routine. Um, there's a video I'm going to release in a couple of days, hopefully, maybe this week, next week. So one of my the senior IPS officer with whom I did a video interview, and uh, he's like one of the people I've always looked up to in life. Is probably the most amazing guy I have met in my whole life. He's climbed Mount Everest. He has been a black cat commander. You can name literally you can name anything in the world. I can almost guarantee he has done that. Right? Anything challenging, uh, literally. There's no take ultra marathons, jumping from para jumping. Um, there's virtually nothing that this person has not done, and he's a senior IPS officer now, and he was when I went for my IPS training, he was uh, one of our trainers. And once he when in the interview he said that when he was in school, at that point he was not very tall. Now, of course, after that he gained height and is very extremely fit and strong. And he said when he was in school, people used to bully him, and he obviously didn't like that, right? And therefore, he really focused on fitness. He focused um, on becoming good at so many things that ultimately he climbed Mount Everest. And he climbed Mount Everest uh, with zero mountaineering experience. A lot of people, they climb Mount Everest, after years and years of, they'll start small, then they'll scale this mountain, another one, and then finally they will end up going to Mount Everest. That was like just the first mountain he climbed was Mount Everest, right? So there are, and all that was, again, this was not, obviously there is something in his DNA. I don't deny that. I mean, probably not probably, I would not be able to do half the things or deeper things that he has done, but uh, a lot of what he did was, it just came from sheer hard work and perseverance. When he was posted as an IPS officer in Ahmedabad, preparing for the Mount Everest, this thing, so you need mountaineering experience, and there were no mountains in Ahmedabad. So every night, for almost a year, he would take a 25 kg backpack and finish his work during the day, come and sleep for three hours or so, get up at night at 11 o'clock, and for the next 4 to 5 hours, the whole night, for 1 year, not for 2 days, not for 5 days, with a 25 kg backpack, he would walk on the road to build his muscular strength and stamina. And with that, he just did it in just one go. Now, there are these people, you could say they're exceptional. Yeah, they are exceptional, but then they also have, it's a totally mindset thing. We cannot build the physical, the core physical, I would say, strength. There is a certain level. Intelligence also, sort of, it comes from, to some extent, from nature. But then the mindset, what do you do with your mind and body, that completely comes from our resolve, and even more important than resolve, comes from the systems we adopt, right? The way we think about life. And that is why this morning routine, among some other things, is a very is an extremely powerful thing, right? So this is the person I talked to. I should give his name as well. I've not mentioned his name is Atul Karwal. He was my boss, and sir is now, he's the director of National Police Academy, and I think probably the I would say the most phenomenal person I have met in my life. Right? I'm not saying anybody can be like that, but anybody can be sort of like that, right? Provided that's what they want to be. Right? Okay, so we have. So now let's talk about the morning routine. So it's 5:09, so we're running out of time. So very quickly, so just a reminder for those who are new, those who are here, for you, just a repetition, which I do every day. For those who are new, let's do meditation and workout today. Now, I have some early morning commitments, so I'll not be able to do live meditation today, but maybe tomorrow or day after, we'll do a live meditation as well. Meditation, what do you do? So very simple. Meditation is the act of mindfulness. We are training our mind. Remember, we are training our mind to focus. How do you focus on something? Uh, just keep your mind anchored to a certain object or a certain thing. And what we would recommend is focus on the breath. So essentially, sit comfortably. Okay, sit comfortably on a chair, cushion, floor, wherever. Don't make yourself, the pose and all that. Just make it relaxed. Be alert. Then take a few deep breaths. So breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the mouth. A few deep breaths. When you take deep breaths, what happens? Your mind will calm down, right? Your body. I don't know if you have noticed. If you have not noticed, next time do that. You take 10 deep breaths, like forceful. Immediately you'll find that there'll be a slight, you'll feel a slight tingling sensation. There'll be sudden change in the way you feel. That's because there is a lot of oxygen in the blood, right? And then your mind will calm down a little bit. And after that, just breathe normally. focus on the breath. Just pay attention to the sensation. It's a very simple idea. In meditation, we are not, it's not metaphysical, it's not spiritual, it's not religious. It's just a physical act of just observing the sensation of the breath, and do it for some time. And then whenever you when you try to do that, also one good thing is what I have found to work, it works for me a lot, is just keep count silently with every time you breathe. So one, two, three, and so on, right? So you keep counting silently. And when you do that, your mind will get distracted. When it gets distracted, don't get frustrated. Okay. Think of it as an opportunity to practice the skill of refocusing the mind. So meditation, ultimately, the meditation is not, the practice of meditation is not so much about staying focused. More than that, it is the act of bringing your mind back again. So when your mind wanders, when some thought comes, suddenly you find you're thinking of something, do not get frustrated. Don't blame yourself. Just say, think, okay, this is a chance to practice that. So bring your attention back and do it again and again. And this is how it happens. And one advice I'll give you on the basis of the my experience in last couple of weeks. What I found is that when you're breathing, if you can find a way to breathe at a certain rhythm. So let's say you're breathing, say, in, out, in, or maybe in, out, in, out. So whatever pace you don't have to force it, but if your breathing settles at a certain at a same pace, right? So you're breathing in and out in a rhythm. And then what I have found is that when that happens, if you just keep focusing on the breath in about 15-20 minutes, sometimes it will take half an hour. In 15-20 minutes, you'll find that your gradually your mind is, you'll have a lot of thoughts and you'll keep, then gradually you'll start becoming calm. At some days, it doesn't happen every day. Some days I find that after 20-30 minutes, your mind, for a few seconds, maybe your mind will sort of just flatline, like you'll have absolute that sense of calm and quiet. But remember, that may happen, it may not happen, but that's not, we are not trying to sort of just force ourselves to get there. If we, meditation should be just, don't, there's nothing we're trying to achieve. There's no end goal. The end goal is just to focus on the breath, right? Just start with that idea. But having said that, if you just experiment with that and see if this is what you find. That's what I have found. And it's a second thing is, try sometimes long meditation sessions. So today I probably won't have time, or maybe I'll do during the day. I'm not sure. But if I can do like an hour or so, like long meditation session, I find that like it's indescribable. That's something that's to be experienced, right? And then after that, we'll do workout for at least half an hour, minimum half an hour to an hour. Today we don't have time, so we'll not talk about different types of workouts. But there are a bunch of things out there. You can do running, you can do cardiovascular activity. You can there are a bunch of fitness videos which allow you to like burn calories and work out different parts of your body. So you can do all the aerobics and those kind of exercises. You can do free weight. You can do push-ups, pull-ups. You can do calisthenics where you do jumping jacks and all of that. You can even do yoga, burpees, whatever. So choice is yours, right? But at least half an hour to 1 hour. And the only goal I'll give you is that at the end of the workout, you should be sweating, right? So you should push your body, gently push it a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, right? Don't do a sudden jump and then, break your arm or strain your muscle and then or have a knee joint. Gradually increase, but the duration push a little bit beyond what you're comfortable. And you do these two things, trust me, like that's the way to start life and start your day. And I would say that's the way to live life, right? So thanks for joining. As I said, unfortunately, I have some morning engagement and I need to finish my routine quickly. So today we'll just end this here. Before I finish, I'd just like to thank everybody who's here. So we have Harsh, Gaurav, Shagun, Sagar, Sachin, Devansh, Abhishek, Kripa, some people, Lalita, Manish, Ashwat, Srishti, Kundan, Nilakhi, Hemant, Pooja, Soumya. Give me a second. The names are scrolling up and down. Okay, Suresh Babu, Niklesh, Nidish, Rajat, Mayank, Prithvi, Chetna, Rakesh, Febin, Thomas, Bubbly, Saira, Sarvesh, Rajesh, LPS Kaushambi, Vikram, Varadarajan, Joycey, Bubbly, Smriti, Shivam, Arjun, Harsh, Ketan, Avinash, Alok, um, Vikram and Abhay again. I think Vikram is, yeah. Okay, guys. So great to have you here. Welcome, and yeah, it's good to start 5 a.m. With a bunch of people, you, me, all of us together. Um, okay, one question Alok has: how can we differentiate push ourselves in exercise and overexercise, though it is assumed side effects of overexercise? Overexercise primarily comes from doing one big jump just in one day, right? So when I say push yourself, I mean, like, so let's say you're used to running half a, let's say as an example, it's just starting, right? And you can run maybe like do one round of the ground, which is let's say 400 meters. After that, you can't. Then you just do some walking. Right? Now, gently pushing yourself. Okay, you do 400-meter one day. Next day, you try to do 2 rounds, or maybe 1.5 rounds, or maybe some cases you might be able to even push the running. You can, if you do a little bit of jump in the beginning, it's not that. So you can maybe even do 3 rounds. But let us say somebody says, okay, from 1 round, I'll go to 20 rounds today. Right? That is very likely to cause some severe pain to ankle or knee, or there'll be something which will get hurt, right? So you have to be. So that is what I'm saying. You between day one and day two and day five and day 10 and day 20, so there should be a graded increase. uh, you have to be much more careful. So when you're doing free weight exercises, the chances of doing damage is less. But when using weights, because weights are artificial, right? With your body weight, your body is already sort of used to using the weight in a certain way, so you can manage. But if you're doing, you do start doing push-ups and not push-ups. You start doing, say, weights. You do bench press, you do shoulder press. I mean, I also have a big routine which I'm not able to follow because there is no gyms now. But if you're doing weights, there the big danger is two things. One is you take weights, which your body cannot bear. Now, if you're doing, say, bench press with, say, 30 pounds each in both the hands, don't go from 30 to 15 one day. That's guaranteed you're going to hurt yourself. So what people do is they'll see somebody else, right? So I see this guy, my God, he's doing with, like, 70 pounds. So you'll say, no, no, I'll also, like, go 45 or 50. Suddenly you'll increase by 15 pounds. That is dangerous, right? So which means graded improvement. But remember, the improvement has to, it's like climbing you have a staircase. So you do one step, two. So see, if you go step by step, you'll get there. But if you take 2 steps and sit there, then you will not go up, right? So that's sort of the core idea. Um, but yeah, so that's about it. So thanks, guys. Thanks for joining, and yeah, time to start the day now. And I'll see you tomorrow. What time? 5 o'clock. Thank you. Bye bye.